Hello, my friend. You're listening to the Sort Yourself Out podcast. This week, I want to share with you a few really easy mindfulness techniques that you can start to implement to improve your life right now.
I'm your host, Janine Hunt, natural health therapist for over 30 years, hypnotherapist, lifelong student, and spiritual seeker. I like to seek out the most effective practices and techniques that provide the greatest bang for my buck and the fastest route to freedom from whatever is holding us back. I can't wait to share with you these powerful techniques so that you too can sort yourself out, know deeper meaning in your life, and best of all, a sense of inner peace. So let's get started.
Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've been wanting to start practicing mindfulness, you're in luck because today I am sharing a few simple techniques to get you going. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet, but before we dig in, I just want to say that practicing mindfulness is one of the best things I have ever done to improve my well-being. And that is because mindfulness is a mega top-down approach. And by top-down, I mean that we use the higher part of ourselves to manage the lower. And top-down practices have this amazing knock-on effect that ripples out to uplift and illumine all areas of our life. So mindfulness helps in all three phases of transformation that I talk about. And that is why it is so powerful and one of my top techniques for sorting yourself out. Now, I have done several episodes discussing the three phases of transformation, so I won't go over all of that today. But for a quick recap, Phase 1 is raising your awareness, discovering the conditioning and programming that is already installed in your head. Phase 2 is liberating yourself from your self-sabotaging beliefs, thoughts, and behavior patterns. And Phase 3 is programming your mind with new thoughts, beliefs, and habits that serve your well-being and success. And as mindfulness is all about being present in the here and now, when your attention is focused in the present moment, you are not experiencing regret about the past, nor projecting worry into the future. And isn't that nice? So you can see how mindfulness can have a really big effect on your life just by that. You're not in the past and you're not in the future fretting about what might happen, what might never happen, which is what is often the case. So anyhow, you can begin to practice mindfulness really easily. So in my first technique, choose a couple of mindfulness triggers that you will use to bring your awareness back to the moment. So a trigger could be something like going through a doorway, up the stairs, taking a drink, washing your hands, getting into your car, or opening your mouth to speak. Now that's a really good one. You can imagine how that last one has the power to transform your relationships. Yep, funnily enough, there's nothing like thinking before you speak to improve your relationships. So that's a really good one to use. It might not be the easiest one to start with, but you could start with going through a doorway and eventually pick a trigger that involves opening your mouth to speak. So what you do is every time your chosen trigger arrives, like you walk through a doorway, you train yourself to come back into your own mind and the present moment. So you bring your awareness into your body and your senses. You feel your feet on the floor. You hear the sounds around you. You notice any smells. You look at what's around. You feel the temperature of the doorknob, etc. You get it? All these sorts of sensations and awareness of what you're doing and experiencing right then and there in that moment. Now, this is really interesting because doing this over and over again gets you out of autopilot and the patterns of thinking that you've been carrying around perhaps your whole life that are not beneficial or likely to lead you toward where you want to go in your life. The next mindfulness technique is to eat something mindfully. It could be a piece of fruit, a whole meal, or you could keep it really simple and doable, as the exercise goes in mindfulness classes all around the world, and eat a single raisin mindfully. So in this scenario, you would look at the raisin as if you've never seen one before. So you notice how the raisin looks, how it feels on your skin and against your fingers and your hand. You can notice its smell. And then you can take a little nibble on it and notice its taste and how it feels in your mouth as you chew it. So you could start with a raisin and then gradually move on to eat all of your meals mindfully. Now, the next technique is to shower mindfully. Next time you're in the shower, tune into your senses and enjoy the feeling of the hot water on your skin, or cold, whatever you do. Notice the smell of the shampoo as you wash your hair, the smell and feeling of the soap on your skin. Notice the sounds and the sensations of the water and how it makes you feel. So observe all of it with your mindful attention. And there you go. Those are a few really simple mindfulness techniques that you can start using today to practice mindfulness. Living in the present moment, which mindfulness teaches, rather than obsessing about the past or worrying about the future, and learning to be the dispassionate observer of your thoughts and emotions, rather than being at their mercy, is the path to inner peace. Now, there is no better technique to accompany and complement mindfulness than meditation. I tell you, it was those two things together that totally changed my life. I would even say saved my life, because they just had such a powerful impact on me. So I have a free guide you can download. It's my quick start guide to doable meditation, and it explains a really simple style of meditation that takes as little as 5 minutes per day to do, but that will still give you the benefits. It includes tips to get you past the resistance to meditating daily that most of us do feel before we get into the habit and the rhythm of it. So you can get that at theinspirationcloud.com/SYO37. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Now, if you're interested in learning more deeply about all of these fascinating topics and practices to take you further on your spiritual path and to amplify your well-being and your positive impact in the world, why don't you sign up to the wait list for my upcoming Inner Circle membership? Go on over to theinspirationcloud.com/membership to get on the wait list, and I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, my friend, that is all for today. I told you it was going to be short and sweet. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I really do appreciate it. And I really would love for you to give the mindfulness a try. Just pick one of those things and start doing it today. The really easy thing is just a mindfulness trigger. Every time you wash your hands, every time you walk through a doorway, seriously, it is life-changing. Okay, thanks for listening. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. I really hope you found it helpful and full of uplifting ideas that you can put into practice in your life. And if you have, chances are your friends and family will too. So please share it with them on social media. You'll be helping them to sort themselves out, because I bet you think they need it, right? But seriously, you'll also be doing me a huge favor, and I will be eternally grateful for your generosity. It would also be lovely if you would leave me a review on iTunes. Preferably a nice one, please. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast while you're there. If you have any questions or would like me to address a certain topic, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at info@theinspirationcloud.com. Have a good one, folks. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.